Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 8 of the 40-day fast. And I'm trying to see it. Okay. I'm just making sure that everything's up and running so that everything goes off smoothly. Welcome to day 8 of the 40-day fast. And guys, remember, I think all of the videos are now available via Facebook, via my Facebook page. So please go back and watch from the introduction all the way up until now. I'm going to make all of the videos available on my website, which is CynthiaMcClary.com. CynthiaMcClary.com. I'm going to make the videos available to you guys on my website, and that way it will be easier to go through them without having to go through posts and all of that stuff. And also remember, guys, share this video. Share. And the important thing about sharing, and I'm sorry, no, I there's no need to apologize, but the important thing about sharing is you may actually not need this. You may totally not need this. And if you don't need this, it is totally fine. But please share, because you never know the person that you're sharing it with, or maybe the person that you share it with who shares it with somebody else, they may be the very ones that need to hear this. So please, guys, share. And again, go to send your prayer requests, your praise reports, send your encouragements to 40days at CynthiaMcClary.com. That's 40days at CynthiaMcClary.com. All right, so today is day 8 of the 40-day fast. And day 8 is, the lesson for day 8 is clean house. Clean house. And I kind of struggled with this one. But the lesson for today is clean house. And we've talked about many things so far. We've talked about repentance. We've talked about the attitudes of our heart. We've talked about saying what God says. Well, today God is talking about clean house. And the importance of clean house is this. The same way, especially if you're a woman, our closets, we accumulate so many things over the years. We accumulate. And sometimes, we go through our annual spring cleaning, or we go through our periodic cleaning of our closet. And sometimes we find things in there that we didn't even remember was there. And so that's exactly what we're doing today. That's what God is calling us to do today. God is calling us to clean house. And why is cleaning house important? Cleaning house is important because that's where the hidden things of our hearts, they're brought to light. They're the thing, we're made to face those things, because sometimes they're hidden in our hearts and they've been there for such a long time that we don't even know that they're there. We're not even aware anymore that they're there. And that's exactly how the seducing spirit is able to live amongst us, live in us, and us not recognize it. And so this morning, today, God is calling for us to clean house. And the only way for us to clean house is to literally invite God in, so that his light exposes the darkness, so that his light exposes what is really in us. We have been crowned with righteousness. We have been dressed in our royal garments, but on the outside, it looks great, but on the inside, what's really going on? So what is really on the inside of us? What's really on the inside of us? And so That's our focus for today. That's our focus for today, rendering ourselves over to God so that everything that is unclean, everything that is not like God, we're asking God today to expose those things in us. We're asking him to expose those things in us. Like I said, I think it was on day 4, God can't build. He doesn't want to build on a foundation that is not stable, a foundation that is not sure. He wants to build afresh. He wants to build anew. And in order for him to do that, we have to clean house. We have to clean house. And we talked yesterday about the cutting away. And the cutting away is not going to be an easy process. It's not going to be an easy process. So in order to clean house, we have to call every single thing in our life exactly what it is. We have to see it for exactly what it is. Nothing hidden, everything being exposed. Nothing hidden, everything being exposed, asking God to search our hearts. Search our hearts. And if there's anything, no matter how big or how small we may think it is, whatever it is, we have to allow God to search our hearts and be willing to release that thing, be willing to let go of that thing. You know, sin is really comfortable. And I don't care what sin it is, sin is comfortable. Sin is very comfortable, regardless as to what it is. There's no big sin, there's no little sin. Little sin. Sin is sin. Sin is sin. And you know, as it relates to marriage and family, you know, God can give us tips, you know, hey, communicate with your husband better. This is how and this is how you have better communication with your husband. This is how, tips on, having the family of your dream. God can give us tip after tip after tip after tip after tip. And in reality, God has been giving us tip after tip after tip after tip after tip after tip. But those tips, it's not that those tips don't work. It's that we're trying to live out those tips from a place where those tips are not able to be viable. They're not able to render the fullness of what their intent is. And that's because we have to clean house. We have to clean house. And if we don't allow this process, if we don't go through this process, understand that the seducing spirit will still be there. The seducing spirit will still be there. In order to expose darkness, light has to come in. Light has to come in from somewhere. Darkness has to be exposed in our lives. Sin is comfortable. Sin is comfortable, and not only is it comfortable, but it is pleasurable. And when I say sin, I'm not just talking about fornication and adultery. I'm even talking about the secret sins, the hidden sins of our heart. Those things, no matter how many tips God give us concerning marriage, concerning our family, no matter how much He gives us, until those things are exposed, and until we deal with them, and until we allow God to dig them out of us, then those things are going to be of no effect. So clean house. Clean house today. That's what I'm praying for. I'm praying for a clean house, that God will expose in us the hidden things. And when God exposes in us the hidden things that we need to deal with, let us not run away. Let us not put it off, because that is a practice that is commonplace. Whenever there is a need to do something, and it could be an emergent need, but when we don't want to do it, we'll put it off. How many things have you put off, and now they're in the back of your closet? You have forgotten about them. You've forgotten about them. You've put it off for so long that you've forgotten about it. And that thing is still hindering. That thing still has a pull on you. That you're still tied to that thing. You're still connected to that thing. Well, when you clean house, you're cleaning your closet. You're cleaning your closet, and you're no longer putting off. You're no longer putting off the things that you know that you ought to do. You're no longer putting off. You're no longer putting off the process. You're no longer putting off entering the process of realignment. You're no longer putting off the process of starting afresh. You're no longer putting off the process. You're no longer holding on to sin. You're no longer holding on to sin. You're letting it go. Do you know that you are free from sin? You're free from it. But it still has an effect on us, because oftentimes we choose to hold on to it because it's comfortable, because it's pleasurable. But because we're going to move forward in these 40 days, we're going to let it go. Whatever it is, we're going to let it go. And God, we ask God that you will allow your light, your life, God, to shine in us, God, in the inner recesses of our hearts. God, in every hidden thing, God, because there are things in our hearts, God, Lord, that we don't even know is there. And those are the things, God, that are holding us back. God, those are the things, God, that are creeping up, God, in our thoughts, in our actions, in our words. God, and they are creating a wedge, not just between you and us, God, but between us and our spouses, God, between us and our children, God, and we wonder why. We wonder why things are not the way that we desire for them to be, God. And we know, God, that it is not your will for these things to be in our life. And so, God, whatever it is, God, Lord, we ask, God, that your light, God, will expose, God, every place in us, God, where there is darkness. God, that you will search, God, Lord, the depths of our hearts, the depths of who we are, God, and expose those things, God. God, bring those things to light, bring those things to the surface, God, so that with you, God, we can deal with those things. We can call them what they are. And with you, not doing it by ourselves, God, because we've already tried that. We've already tried to do it by ourselves. We've already tried to do it on our own. And it doesn't work. It only works temporarily. Only temporarily, God. Lord, and so we ask, God, that you will come in, God, and that you will expose every hidden thing, God, every dark thing. God, that you will expose it, God, so that we can deal with it with you. You know, the refiner's fire. Whenever gold goes through the process of purification, the heat is turned up on it to such a high degree that not only does it melt, but when the process is over or during the process, all of the impurities that's in that gold, all of the impurities rise up to the top. And the refiner scrapes off the impurities and keep on turning the fire up. The gold may not like it, but the purpose of the fire is to burn out every single thing that is not pure, every single thing that would devalue that gold, that would make that gold worth less than what it should be. The fire is turned up, and again the refiner comes back and he scrapes off more impurity. And that gold stays there in all of that burning heat until there is no more impurity left to scrape off of it. Guys, no one ever said that this was going to be an easy process. God never promised it. He never said it, that it was going to be an easy process. But on the other side of this process, he's fashioning you. He's making you into pure gold. Pure gold. So go through the process. Let God clean house. Let him come in and let him clean house. And be willing to do whatever he says. Whatever he says. Be willing to do it. Let it go. Guys, I love you. God loves you. God desires the best for your marriage, and he desires the best for your family. Guys, be blessed, and I will talk to you soon.